Most people assume Pichon Baron and Pichon Comtesse are just stylistic variations of the same estate. But once you see how differently they age, you will never compare them the same way again. Decades ago, as I began my journey into Bordeaux, two of the very first Cru Classés I tasted were the Pichons, then formerly known as Château Pichon-Longueville or Baron de Pichon-Longueville, and Château Pichon-Longueville, Comtesse de Lalande. Since then, I've kept coming back to one question: how do Pichon Baron and Pichon Comtesse truly compare? Once part of the same estate, the two have followed separate paths since the mid-19th century, yet today they still stand side by side among the finest wines of Pauillac. Over the years, I have continued to buy and cellar multiple vintages, following how they evolve over time. Today, I will share 6 bottles from my cellar, comparing Pichon Baron and Pichon Comtesse across 3 outstanding vintages, 2005, 2010, and 2016. By the end of this video, you will have a clear sense of how their styles differ, how they evolve with age, and how they compare in both quality and value over time. You will also find a recap table at the end of the video summarizing the wines we have covered. First, a bit of history. Although the Romans introduced viticulture to Bordeaux in the mid-1st century, as evidenced by Pliny the Elder's mention of vineyards in 71 AD, Pauillac's rise as a wine center came much later. Vineyards began to appear during the 13th and 14th centuries under English rule, which stimulated trade. Large-scale planting only began in the late 1500s, when King Pauillac, Henry IV, commissioned Dutch engineers to drain the marshlands. By the 18th century, Pauillac's proximity to the port had propelled its wine to international recognition, securing its place in the Bordeaux trade by the early 1800s. Today, Pauillac covers 1,220 hectares, with Cabernet Sauvignon as the dominant grape, alongside Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and Petit Verdot. It is also home to 18 Cru Classés from the 1855 classification. Right behind the first rows, Lafite, Latour, and Mouton, come the Two Pichons. In great vintages, they come remarkably close to that top tier. A few words about the estates. The original Pichon estate, created in the late 17th century, was divided in 1850 between the children of Joseph Pichon de Longueville. His sons inherited what is now Pichon Baron. His daughters inherited what became Pichon Comtesse under Virginie, Comtesse de Lalande. Pichon Baron. In 1933, Pichon Baron was sold to the Bouteiller family of Château Pichon. Through the 1960s and 1970s, it struggled to perform. That changed in 1987 when AXA Millésime acquired the estate. With major investment, stricter selection, and improved vineyard management, Pichon Baron returned to the top level of the Médoc. Pichon Comtesse. Pichon Comtesse was purchased in 1926 by Édouard Miaille and later passed to his daughter, May Eliane de Langsin, in 1978. Much of the estate's modern reputation is due to her energy, vision, and dedication. In 2007, the estate was sold to the Rousseau family of Champagne-Podoret. Since then, the series of strong vintages has firmly re-established Pichon Comtesse among the Médoc elite. Now, before we get into the vintages, both wines share similar profiles: dark and red fruits, sweet spice, graphite, and earthy note. But stylistically, they diverge. Pichon Baron tends to be more fruited, powerful, and muscular. Pichon Comtesse is often more polished, more open, and more immediately expressive. 2005. 2005 is the classic, structured vintage now entering its prime. Hailed as exceptional from the outset, yet one that demanded patience, 2005 is only now beginning to reveal the true first glimpses of its magnificent potential. Pichon Baron, 2005. I bought this en primeur in spring 2006 for $100. It's now around $220. Tannic austerity now fully tamed. The 2005 has finally arrived, a wine of flawless balance, alluring class, and beguiling complexity. At 21 years of age, it pulses with remarkable fruit purity, controlled vigor, and striking freshness. Like the legendary 2000, this is a defining vintage, a turning point that firmly reestablishes Pichon Baron among the Médoc elite. It's a blend of 64% Cabernet Sauvignon, 33% Merlot, and 3% Cabernet Franc. Pichon Comtesse, 2005. I bought this en primeur in spring 2006 for $100. It's now around $250. The 2005 Pichon Comtesse has come into its own. Well-crafted, assertive, generous, and deeply satisfying. Lighter on its feet than the hedonistic 2009 or 2010, yet what it lacks in sheer weight, it more than repays in finesse and poise. Give it a few more years, it will reach full bloom. It's a blend of 64% Cabernet Sauvignon, 29% Merlot, 6% Cabernet Franc, and 1% Petit Verdot. My take: advantage, Pichon Baron. Both wines are superb, but Baron feels more complete in this slow, maturing vintage. Its class now fully on display. Comtesse, by contrast, remains just a touch reserved, its full beauty still unfolding. 2010, reminiscent of a modern 2005, the 2010 vintage combines ripe structure with fresh acidity to produce wines of extraordinary longevity. Marrying power with precision, it presents a more classical profile than the opulent 2009. Pichon Baron 2010. I bought this in 2014 for $130. It's now around $250. A monumental wine, poised on the brink of perfection, and very likely the finest Pichon Baron produced under AXA millésime. It captures the essence of the vintage with remarkable purity, precision, and scale. There is immense depth here, yet it is carried effortlessly by vibrant energy and freshness. It's a blend of 79% Cabernet Sauvignon and 21% Merlot. Pichon Comtesse 2010. I bought this in 2015 for $150. It's now around $270. A Pichon Comtesse that leans toward the style of a Gret Saint-Julien, precise, restrained, and beautifully controlled. This is not the open, immediately charming expression seen in other vintages, but restraint here should not be mistaken for absence. Beneath the surface lies layered complexity and quiet sensuality, with far more yet to emerge. It's a blend of 66% Cabernet Sauvignon, 24% Merlot, 7% Cabernet Franc, and 3% Petit Verdot. My take: slight advantage, Pichon Baron. Both are outstanding wines, but if pressed, Baron takes it by a whisker. Its composure and completeness are more compelling today, while Comtesse still feels very much in the making. 2016. Widely regarded as a vintage for the ages, 2016 is defined by its exceptional harmony and precision. Cabernet Sauvignon was an undisputed star, achieving perfect ripeness and yielding wines of both power and refinement. Pichon Baron 2016. I bought this in 2020 for $110. It's now around $210. A compelling and finely sculpted wine, marked by crystalline purity and stately poise. Succulent, yet controlled, it delivers both structure and energy in equal measure. A precise and articulate expression of the vintage and the terroir. It's a blend of 85% Cabernet Sauvignon and 15% Merlot. Pichon Comtesse 2016. I bought this in 2021 for $160. It's now around $310. A phenomenal wine of striking completeness. Flawlessly balanced, precise, and deeply expressive. It carries a strong sense of harmony from start to finish. With this vintage, Pichon Comtesse confidently reasserts its place among the Médoc elite, echoing the great successes of the 1980s and 1990s. It's a blend of 75% Cabernet Sauvignon, 21% Merlot, and 4% Cabernet Franc. My take: advantage, Pichon Comtesse. Both wines are exceptional, but today, Comtesse holds the edge. Its precision and sense of completeness are simply more compelling. For all its qualities, Baron remains just half a step behind for now. With multiple vintages of both estates in my cellar, I had the opportunity to follow their evolution over time. To my palate, Pichon Comtesse defined the 1980s and 1990s under May Eliane de Langson. The 2000s and early 2010s belonged to Pichon Baron, following its revival under AXA. But since around 2015, under Roederer and the winemaking of Nicolas Glumineau, Pichon Comtesse has staged a remarkable comeback. These are wines I always enjoy sharing with friends and family, and tasting them side by side always sparks discussion. It's a bit like watching two top seeds meet in a final. And just like in elite sports, there is no permanent winner, only the one showing best on that particular day. If this helps you better understand the difference between these two iconic estates, feel free to subscribe. You will find more of my cellar insights and tasting notes over on Instagram. Massive thanks for watching today, and I will see you in the next one.